So how do you get 7 wasps off the nest? Very carefully. Welcome back to Cobweb Castle. My name is Elliott, and I wanted to share a little bit about the wasp hive. Today was a pretty exciting day. I started with 3 wasps, and here tonight I have 8. So the weather's been a little bit warmer, so I think that's what was making them start to hatch out. But this is the wasp hive. It's basically a spider hall that I modified with a wooden dowel running across here. And if you go back on some of my previous videos, I show how I did this. But this is a red paper wasp nest that I mounted to this wooden dowel, and you're able to leave it in the down position while it's outside, and then you can spin this and actually look inside the paper wasp nest. Now it has plexiglass on both sides. I could take both of these out, and it's both pieces of glass are out right now, but when I have all the wasps on the nest, I would obviously have both of these pieces of glass down so that the wasps are basically enclosed into this habitat right here. So this is kind of like a proof of concept, just kind of experiment, would this work? And it's actually been pretty successful. Now, this is the second nest that I've tried to raise. The first one I think I got up to about 4 wasps on that one, and somebody accidentally left the front glass down when my grass was getting mowed, and basically it just got too hot in there, turned kind of like a greenhouse, and all those wasps expired. So I was able to find an even bigger nest. We were cutting down some trees, and I saw some I've been looking for red paper wasps around my area, and they're not right where I'm at. They're not a lot of them that I've been able to find. But anyway, I was able to find this red paper wasp nest. Now it was a bigger nest, had a lot more wasps flying around. We were able to get the tree down. I successfully got the nest, clipped it off of the little branch that it was resting on, and I was able to get one of the wasps that was flying around into a little plastic bag and brought all that home. And I have a few short videos previously that shows how I kind of the process of this one going along. But I just wanted to share with you a couple of interesting observations that I've been able to make just having this. I mean, the first of which, this was the first time that I've had all the wasps on this nest, and actually brought it to my dining room table and was able to sit here. The glass is down and I'm this far away. I'm able to get my my macro lens on my phone and get here and get some really close footage of the wasps, and not, obviously this would be very dangerous if you were to do this outside, but because it's in this little habitat, it's been pretty interesting. So let me just kind of tell you a little bit about all of these wasps. It's been kind of an adventure. The very first wasp that I captured with this nest, she was it. It was a female, but she was it for a pretty good while. And she was very aggressive to start off with. I've never been bitten or rather stung by the wasp. As I'm doing this, I'll try to be very careful. While I have this outside, I have a little stand I have set up. I will approach it from the side with a little stick with honey on the stick, and basically, gently, where they can't really see me, I just poke the stick up that way, and she would try to bite the stick with her mandibles to start off with, until she realized there was honey on there, and then she would kind of warm up a little bit, and I could kind of maneuver the stick underneath her legs and actually take her off the nest and actually hold her onto the stick. And if you go back and watch some of my shorts, I have some footage of that also. But she was always real skittish. So the very first wasp I had, you can recognize her because she was missing one of her legs. But she was like the sweetest thing. I could get her onto the stick and go back. I have this set up on the side of my house. I could go sit on a little piece of wood over there and just observe the wasp as it was eating honey. And basically when she got enough honey, she was full, she would just fly right back. And it was really neat. But so back to this first wasp. She was always pretty aggressive, just skittish like. And then as we're now in October, and you can tell the weather's kind of cooling down a little bit, so I would go out maybe after work or go check it in the morning or something like that when the temperature's a little cooler, and she would seem to be a little more docile during those times. I'm always just real careful trying to interact with the wasp because I'm not trying to get stung, and I'm just trying to, you know, kind of figure out what's the easiest way to do this, not really be very intrusive on what I'm doing, and definitely not to shake the box or rattle the box, because they do feel that. But okay, so moving on, I did have the next wasp hatch, and let's say 2. My memory's it's all kinds of jumbled together when, you know, I have one of them hatch. I'm trying to make a short video and put it on there. But the second or third one, once some other wasp hatched out, that very first wasp, she kind of calmed down quite a bit. And the new wasps that hatched out, I was able to give them honey on a stick, and they don't really, I guess they really don't know what's going on. They kind of take cues from the wasps that are already on there, and I just try to be calm, and they seem pretty calm. I showed you, in fact, on another video where I put the wasp in the freezer for a very short period of time, and I was able to paint a little dot of paint onto the back of the wasp. And I was thinking about doing that with all of these, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I have eight wasps. We've been watching this one right here. This is one that fell out, and I've had it just sitting here under this little glass dome. I've just kind of been watching it, and I can tell that it's kind of coming along a little bit more. You can see it's getting some of the mobility from the legs and the wings and stuff. So I'm keeping that one separated there. And then all of the other ones, what I actually did, I have 8 total. I had, that one is separated, she's kind of quarantined there. So I had 7 wasps on the nest tonight, and I wanted to kind of clean out the bottom down here because debris has fallen down, and also I wanted to just take them all off and kind of just show you, how I did this. I went into a small bathroom, closed the door, very carefully went for the number 1 female. She was always the most, she's been developed the longest. She can fly, she can get aggressive, she flaps her wings if she feels threatened, and I wanted to deal with her first. So what I actually did very gently was go in the bathroom, and I lifted the glass off. I was able to get her onto a stick and had a sandwich bag open, and basically just quickly transferred her into a sandwich bag, and she was secured in there. Now the other 6 wasps that were on here, they were easier to get in the bag because most of them just hatched today. So we do have one that has the curved wings. Okay, that was a deformity. For whatever reason, her wings didn't fully fan out when she was developing, and I don't think that they're gonna develop correctly at all. So I'm gonna try to take care of that one as well, and as long as it stays on the nest and doesn't leave, it should be okay. The other wasps seem to accept it just fine, and I was watching it earlier, and it will flap its wings in the defensive behavior, but I don't know, it's pretty easy to identify that one. Let me get a couple of the other ones real quick. So I've been mostly able to identify, well, let's just say there's a couple that have some identifying features that are pretty easy to tell. I'll go back and get close-ups of each of these individually and kind of put that video over the top of the audio so you can actually see what I'm talking about. But let's start with number one. I always try to keep a good headlight, so excuse me while I put this on here. Okay, yeah, so this is number one. Now, number one has almost like a translucent dark red eyes. She's very active. She's very mobile compared to these other ones. So I can recognize number one. I'm not exactly sure on the life cycle and the whole process of paper wasps. Doing a little bit of research, you have, and if I'm incorrect on this, you know, I'm not an expert, but I'm just interested in trying to learn a little bit. But from what I've researched is you have the foundress, which is kind of like the queen, which basically can start the nest. So what I'm getting at is I don't know if I was able to retrieve the foundress on the nest originally, or if it's just, you know, another worker or whatever they call the, you know, the other wasps. But basically I can identify number one because the color of the eyes. And like I said, I'll get some close-ups so you can see. Of course, we have Curlicue here with the curved wings. And this one, you know, all these other ones, these freshly hatched ones, their eyes are really dark. And I don't know if they'll change as it goes on or just what. I'm not quite sure. But there's also on the wings here, and in fact, this one that can't fly, I'll actually take it out and let it kind of walk around, and we can get some, I'll just kind of put it down on the carpet and let it just walk around, and we'll get some good close-up footage of it. But what you'll be able to notice besides the wings is that, and I've seen this with all the wasps as they emerge, there's like a it's like a clear skin that their exoskeleton was covered by. And the one with the curved wings, it's almost like it pulls off that clear skin, but it didn't pull all the way off on these curved wings, so there's still a piece hanging off. I don't really want to mess with it. I thought about, you can, in some of the behavior of this one, you can see her take her back legs and try to like scrape it off, but she can't get it off. And I thought about cutting the wings just because they're deformed, and I don't know. I don't have to cut them. I think I'll just leave them. It helps to identify this particular one. So curvy wings, number 2, I guess. It might have been number 3. I don't remember on the shorts. Okay. besides that, there was another one. Okay, so we have, this one is like, I'm gonna call this one antlers, because whatever that plastic stuff, or not plastic, whatever the skin that they're supposed to remove, this one still has it on the antennas. So it can't properly use the antennas like all the other ones can, because it still has some of that skin on the antennas. So we'll get a close up of that one. So that's 3. These other ones, they all look very similar. Some of the colorings maybe a little lighter shade. This one kind of looks a little orangey looking. And again, oh wait, we got this one too. This one still has some of the skin on the abdomen. I'm not sure if that'll come off there too or not. And this one here, also the antennas are like still folded with that skin over the head and the antenna. So this one looks like it doesn't have any antennas at all. So the other 3, they all look pretty similar. This one looks a little bigger than the other one. I'd imagine they're all pretty much the same. And then this one, I mean, it's trying to walk. It's not quite ready. So that's, you know, I don't know if they help each other pull that off as they're sitting on the nest, or if they're responsible to do it themselves, or required rather. I don't quite know. But this has been very interesting. What I was going to do is, let's get Curly Q. I can put her on the nest there too. I'm not afraid that she's gonna fly off at me, and we can get some close footage of her on the nest there too. So stand by. So something else neat that I noticed is, as I'm feeding them honey, I can see where they've deposited honey into some of these cells as almost like a way of storage. And let me see. So we have Curly Q1 here. You see she's alert. What's going on? I was gonna try to remove some of these paper caps. Now that's another thing, you can tell when they feel that vibration, they start trying to look and see what's going on here. And I say paper cap, this was actually a silk cap that the larva spins before it starts going into the next growth stage there. And I was able to get a time lapse. I would have to, I need a pair of tweezers. All right, stand by a second. Now you see her defensive behavior. They're pretty good protectors of the nest. So I'm just removing some of these caps just so we can look down in there, because these are ones that I believe these are the ones that just recently came out. All right, I'm not gonna keep messing with it. Okay, but one thing you do notice is that these that are very white looking, like this one here, here, those are freshly spun caps with the larva inside. Now these other ones are darker. I don't know why they're actually darker. I was thinking, you know, maybe they get dirty from the wasp walking around on them, or else they may put some of the chewed up wood fiber material that the nest is actually made of. They might add a little more strength to the silk. I don't know for sure, just kind of a guess. But anyway, I think that's about what all I really wanted to show you here. So I didn't see too many eggs now. There are still, I counted 8 of these larvae that have not capped over yet. So we'll keep watching those here in the future. But let me put, okay. So the one we had in the little glass dome seems to be pretty much moving around. Now I'm going to see if we can move it up to the nest right now and see what it'll do. This is another thing, is will the new one accept it too? It should, because they should smell the same, is what I think that's how it works with bees too, you know, because the bees, they go to different, you know, they have like their home hive. So watching this one, it still has its head covered in that skin stuff, and you see it kind of trying to pull it off with its front legs. The wings, I was watching this one's wings earlier too, and the wings before were very clear, and as time has gone by here, they kind of darken up a little bit, but they don't quite look quite as dark as this curlicue here. And it's kind of just walking around on the nest right now. What I've noticed about the other ones that have hatched, and they just kind of sit up here at the top of the nest, and they just kind of rest. And I imagine they, you know, they're not down here. Oh, let me move the camera, sorry. They're not down on this bottom part where, you know, the action is. Basically, they're just kind of up here at the top, just kind of probably just laying low, trying to finish developing. You may call this a little bit crazy. I have the glass off the front on my dinner or my dining room table, and I'm moving these wasps back onto the nest. So I'm just going to try to do it very carefully and see what we can do here. Now what I'm doing is I'm putting the ones on here that I don't feel like they're going to try to fly away right now. Now look at that one right there. This is antlers. It has that skin that is covering the antennas, and it's trying to scrape it off, it looks like. I was thinking that the other ones would maybe help it, but I don't guess so. I'm gonna try to zoom in. Oh yeah, look at that. So I hope that comes off, because if not, it's going to greatly hinder the use of the antennas, because I imagine it's pretty hard right there where it's still attached to the head. Well, she's trying to get it off. Now, I don't know this for sure, but my last wasp nest, I had two what I thought was males hatch out, and all of these look like females, but I believe how you can tell the difference is the antennas on the males are curved. They look almost like a ram's horn type of thing, and the females are straight. So I haven't noticed any of these yet that are males, or it seems like. But now, the beauty of this is that you can, twist this and get another view actually inside the nest. Now trust me, I'm gonna put the glass on before we let number one back in there. Trust me. But right now, I mean, I don't feel threatened. Now the curlicue right here, you see this alert behavior. She is looking around. I'm gonna blow on the nest just a little bit with my breath and just show you her reaction, because although she can't come fly to get me, and these other ones, okay, so Antlers here is trying to explore, but see there, it went back to the nest. All right, let's put somebody else on there. Now these other three, these are the three that they all kind of look the same. I think these can probably fly, and I think this is about as brave as I'm gonna be with the front glass off. So, well, actually, this is the thing. If they can't fly, it may take them a while to actually get up here to walk the side of the enclosure and actually find their way up, because they'd have to come up here and get on this dowel and then walk over that way. So I'm going to very gently keep adding wasps, and we'll see what happens. But the behavior they were showing when I was taking them off to nest in the bathroom, their behavior was pretty relaxed. So like they weren't trying to fly away or anything like that. So okay, I got one coming out of the bag right now, and we'll add this one. Okay, now that one looks like it could fly if it wanted to. It's got full mobility of the antennas, and the wings look fully formed and all that. So I don't know, hopefully it's just going to remain nice and calm. And then number one, we're going to put the glass down for number one for sure, and then let that one oh, this one's feeling frisky. You better get on there. All right. Now these are red paper wasps. Okay, and what I've heard was that these were a little more docile, so that's why I was trying to work with these instead of the little small red and yellow ones. I did dissect a nest on a previous video, and that was the type of nest that I dissected. And they're smaller. I wanted to get these red ones because they're docile, but also they're bigger, so they're a little easier to see, to observe. And this has been pretty neat so far. All right, trying to get the third amigo here onto the stick. Okay, here we go. Third amigo going on there. Okay. Now we had the one that had some skin hanging on the back. Okay, here we go. Get on there. Okay. Let go of the stick. Okay. So you see there that skin hanging off the back of that one there. Okay, I'm gonna very gently, without trying to breathe on it, get some good close-up footage without the glass. It'll be a lot clearer than looking through that plexiglass. So we can kind of see what's going on. And another thing is, with honey on the stick, I just kind of brush honey on them as I'm trying to get them to climb onto the stick, and that kind of gives them something to do later, as like, you know, clean honey off of each other, or on their if they have it on them, you know, kind of. I don't know if it helps anything, but I know they like honey. Here's this one right here. Let's see if it'll take a little drink. Of course, you're not in the frame. Come up here and get it. Okay, that one. Is that I think that's Curlicue there with the wings. So you can see her drink a little honey right here. Okay, so this I just put all these wasps. That's 7 wasps I put on there. There's not a back glass and there's not a front glass. I'm going to attempt right now to put the back glass on. Very gently. And then I'll put the front glass on. So they're real sensitive to vibrations and stuff, so they may not fly off, but you may see them kind of react a little bit. Okay, that was successful. Here goes front glass. And now you can kind of see how the view is obscured slightly with this plexiglass. But, you know, hey, still better than nothing. All right. Number 1 is going under the door. Number 1 had the like reddish looking eyes, and I think when we get her on the nest compared to the other ones, you'll be able to see it pretty well. So what I'm going to do for this one is just crack this corner and just let her slide up under the glass very gently, because she can fly. She can fly pretty good. So let's see here. Okay. She just crawled right onto the nest right there. Okay, I can't believe we did that. All right, I think that's about gonna wrap it up for the tour tonight of 8 red paper wasps. I hope you enjoyed, and I will continue to keep you up to date with what's going on. So you may be asking, why would someone build this or do this? And that's a good question. And I've always been interested in insects. It's just been a passion of mine, and I have wanted to do this. I mean, this whole thing has been kind of, you know, proof of concept with this work, but I've always wanted to get this on video and to be able to actually share, you know, what this is all about and how this works. So you know, that goes back to the why, because I used to be a little boy that used to go catch bugs and throw them into the spider webs, and you know, just catch all kinds of stuff. And I think we need more of that. I think that kids nowadays probably stay inside a little too much, and the only way to change that is to get them interested in insects. And you know, paper wasps, they don't make honey, they sting, they can be, you know, pretty aggressive, but they do play a very important role in nature. They catch worms, really not like worms, but like caterpillars, and they will actually bring them back and chew them up and feed them to the little larvae. The little larvae, to me, they look like little fat little walruses or seals rather, that are just sitting there in these little cells, and they can't do anything. They just sit there and wait for the wasps to bring them food. So it's pretty interesting. I've had a good time, you know, designing and building these spider habitats, spider keep, spider lair, spider hall, and then this is wasp hive, and it's been very interesting. But that's my goal, is to you know, share this, and especially to get kids younger, the next generation, interested in insects. So if I can help do that, that makes it worth it for me. So please share these videos if you find this interesting. I mean, obviously you could watch this at home, but it'd be neat to show this in a classroom setting and just let the kids get a close-up view of what goes on in a wasp nest. So subscribe, share, all that good stuff. That helps to get the videos out there on YouTube, and I'll keep filming. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.